All right, Stedman Bailey, are you there?
I am here. Hey, Denisha, how you doing?
Hey, welcome everybody to Set Real Talk Tuesday. I am super excited to have Stedman Bailey joining us. Stedman is out of Miami, Florida. Currently, you're in Los Angeles, though.
I am in Los Angeles, right?
In Los Angeles, guys, Stedman Bailey is joining us because he calls himself a miracle from heaven.
I do. I
And
am.
he's here live and direct, been through some things. He's going to share it with us tonight. So, to give you a second to join in, tag a friend who needs some encouragement, needs to hear that, no matter what you're going through, you can stay positive. He's bringing us some positive energy.
I am. Here we go.
Yes, all the way from the West Coast. Batman,
Hey,
we see you working out on Instagram, going hard, getting
so
back right. It's motivating me, boy, to get in the gym, and I can't do all that you do, running the routes and the back and the forth, but a little something.
yeah, I'm sure you can. Anything you put your mind to, you probably could do. So you might can run some routes. I don't
Well, you're
be
right, the athlete in me. I spoke too soon, you
right.
know.
Don't count yourself out of nothing.
True that.
Hmm.
Guys, Stedman Bailey joining us for Real Talk Tuesday. So, Stedman, we're going to just dive right in. Guys, as you're coming in, letting us know you're there, thank you for joining us. Stedman, you're originally from Miami, Florida,
I am from Miami, Florida, Carol City area.
Carroll City, okay. Went to West Virginia for college,
Yeah,
spent your time there, and wound up getting drafted to the St. Louis Rams,
right. 2013.
2013. So your goal growing up was to play in the NFL.
Right. That's always been a goal of mine. Ever since I was a kid, growing up watching all the raw talent that came through the University of Miami. I knew I was a little kid in my neighborhood with a lot of talent, so that became a goal and a dream of mine from very young.
So you wound up getting drafted 2013, spent 3 years on the Rams. Who did you look up to? Your wide receiver. Who was
Right.
your favorite player in the league?
Well, I had a few favorite players, but ones that stick out to me the most are Santana Moss, Miami, Florida talent, and Steve Smith is another receiver who just retired like 2 years ago. But I idolize those guys because pretty much like the same size as them in stature. They're not really the biggest receivers, but they bark real big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So they
so
bark and they bite.
they bark and bite, and that's the kind of guy I am.
Got it. Okay, so playing wide receiver, coming out of West Virginia University.
Right,
And then, you have these guys that you modeled your game after, playing 3 years for the Rams,
right.
and then tragedy strikes.
Tragedy, adversity, we could call it all of those things, but yes, it did.
So, guys, we have Stedman on tonight because this is a story that was all over the news. People across social media sending prayers, thoughts out for you, want you to pull through. Stedman was shot twice in the head, November 2015. Tell us, Stedman, that night, what happened, what you were doing. You're in Miami. You happened to be serving a suspension,
Right,
but home because you wanted to, be around some positive energy,
right,
be
right.
around your family just prior to Thanksgiving.
Yes.
What happened?
Well, as you said, I was serving a suspension, and I had two options. I could have stayed in St. Louis, but with me staying there, I wouldn't have been able to be around the team. So I thought that that might be kind of depressing. So I, decided to talk to the coach, Jeff Fisher, and just ask him, if I could go home to spend a little time off with family to just keep my head in a good spot. So um, he said that was cool. He know that I'm the type of guy that whether I'm at this facility or I'm home in my spare time, I'm gonna bust my tail and work out. So it was all cool idea for him. However, suspension was taking place. I was home, and 2 days before Thanksgiving, which that year was November 24th, 2015. Just a regular casual day. preparing to drive to Atlanta on the 25th to spend Thanksgiving with my mother in Georgia and the rest of my family members who live up there. Um, since I've been in college, I never got a chance to spend Thanksgiving with family because it's always tied up within football season. So try to get turkey from whoever I can, wherever I am. But anyway, casual day Tuesday. Just decided to go get some food with a friend of mine and a cousin, and um, just ended up being in a random act of violence by being shot in the head twice. So that was horrific for me, horrific for everybody that was in the car. I had my two baby cousins at the time. My little cousin AJ was 11, and his little sister Maya was 6 years old, and their father Antoine was in the car too. Um, just made one pit stop to my friend Terrence's house to let him get dressed so we can continue with the day. And some random car pulled up, and I remember Antoine asking me, "Is that car in the street for tea?" I was busy on my phone, probably meddling around on social media, and I remember, just looking over my shoulder, and I didn't recognize the car, so I was like, "No, I doubt it," and proceeded to just be back into my phone. And within moments later, just hear a whole barrage of just gunshots, and it literally felt like we was in some kind of war zone. And just growing up in Carol City, which is where the event happened, Miami Gardens, I know that it's not the safest area, but I pretty much know everybody that I grew up with, and I always thought, okay, my face should be clean. I've never done nothing wrong to nobody. I'm cool, still being somewhat in the hood. But however, the act of violence took off, and that night it was over 30 bullets that sprayed into the car. And in a situation like that, you would probably think everybody in the car would have died. And luckily, the two kids who were in the car were not touched by any of the bullets. Their father, Antoine, once he realized that we were the subjects of the gunfire, I guess like a bullet struck him in his back where he realized, okay, these bullets are coming at us, and he laid on top of his kids. Me, I remember just looking around like, wow, we in a war zone, and just hoping that everybody in the car is okay. So a minute or two go by, and I remember the car driving off, and I'm just kind of sitting there shocked, like, wow, that really just happened. At the time, I was shot twice, but I didn't feel no pain at all. So I didn't know I was shot. I'm just looking around in the back seat, and I hear my little cousin yelling. His dad had instructed the oldest one, AJ, to call his mom and tell him what exactly happened. Now, I'm a man of faith, so I feel with all that had took place, for me to not feel any pain or even know that I was shot was amazing. And even Antoine, he got shot 11 times in all through his body. None hit his head, but all through his back, legs, bullets was traveling through his body. And he was able to step out of the car and look at himself, and his first words was, dang, these guys just messed up our Thanksgiving, just knowing we supposed to get on the road the next day to go head up to Atlanta. That wasn't going to happen no more. So he come to the front seat where I was sitting to open the door to somewhat check on me. And here I am just sitting there. He said he remembers like I kind of was, dazed, like maybe I had a concussion, but I'm just sitting there chilling. And then he told me like, oh man, cuz they shot you in the head. He saw a bullet hole over my right eyebrow. And I'm just looking at him like, ain't no way, because I don't feel no pain, and I get to trying to pull down the mirror up above, and he slapped it up so I wouldn't see it, which I'm glad he did, because I probably would have passed out or something seeing the real actuality of it.
So hold that thought. Okay. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is Set Real Talk Tuesday. I have Stedman Bailey joining us. He is St. Louis now Los Angeles Rams player, formerly in the NFL, making his way back. He is quite a story to tell. Miracle from heaven is what he's calling himself. And you guys are hearing why. Tag somebody who needs to hear his story, a story of tragedy, triumph, perseverance, and he is spreading positive energy with us tonight. So Stedman is sharing what happened on the evening of November 24th, 2015. Stedman, your cousin shot 11 times. You're shot twice in the head. You have an 11-year-old and a 6-year-old in the back seat.
Right.
What next?
Well, very frantic scene. The kids were
Wow.
devastated. I mean, I just remember my little cousin who was able to call his mom and tell her what happened, telling her that Stead is dead. And I'm looking back at him. I mean, he could see the bullet and all that, and he knew stuff was pretty serious. So that's why he was reacting that way. But, I'm looking at him like, nah, cuz I'm not dead. That he just losing it, him and his little sister. And from that point, my boy T finally, come back and he jump in the car and open the door and see everything that happened. And he get in the car and he just yelling like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And Twan was able to keep his composure and tell him, listen, shut up, the yelling, shut up, and rush us to the closest hospital, which was Jackson North. So we booking it, and I remember at that point, like, okay, stuff is real. Like my man sitting right here, he rushing us to the hospital. And the only thing that I could think about is not that I'm shot, but my homeboy driving, who I don't think got the best driving skills. So
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you're aware enough to think about how he's driving. You've been shot twice in the head.
I'm coherent. Everything was still pretty smooth.
But how about all the blood?
That's the only thing that really let me know stuff was real, because after my cousin told me, you got shot in the head, and I'm trying to bring the mirror down to see, he slapped it up so I can't see. So I just remember just looking down at my shirt to see if I got any holes in my shirt, chest, any body, but nothing. But I did see some blood leak down on my shirt. So I'm like, okay, something just, took place. I guess I am shot. But my man's, he driving, and
the bad driver is driving.
Well, he not that bad, but I wouldn't, in a situation like rushing up to the hospital, you not gonna be the one driving. Didn't have no other choice, so he driving, and
thank God for him today on that day.
Right. Antoine telling him, man, listen, put the pedal to the metal, don't stop for nothing until we get there. If the police get behind us, keep it going. They'll know once we get there while he's speeding and doing whatever. So we pull up to the hospital. I'm still coherent. I'm actually thanking God that we made it. And I'm able to get out the car and walk into the hospital. And Twan too, he get out, and we both walk in there.
Even though Twan is shot 11 times.
Yeah, we
still able to walk.
Right. So we get to Jackson North, and crazy part, they don't have a trauma unit. So we both needed to be rushed to the trauma unit of the next nearest hospital, which was Aventura. They slapped both of us in an ambulance truck separately and rushed us to Aventura. And Antoine, with him taking 11 shots, he was bleeding so bad that he had to go into surgery right away, get a blood transfusion. And me, I didn't go into surgery until like early that next morning. So I don't know what the heck I was doing within them hours. I remember lastly just being on an ambulance truck, and they like, oh, we got to get you to Aventura. At the time, I wasn't really aware of where I was and how long that was going to take, but I remember telling the dude, like, all right, I'm going to just, close my eye, take a quick nap. And he's like, no, we need you to stay awake. And now I'm just like frustrated, like, why is this happening? But I'm able to answer all the questions they ask me, what's my name? Do you know who did this? And I'm telling them, like, no, I don't. Um, I'm answering everything correctly,
So how
and
about to this day? You make it through the surgery. Twan ends up okay.
yeah, we both ended up okay. After my surgery, which took about 7 hours. I'm not sure how long his was, but now we just in Aventura, pretty much in recovery mode. It's still a lot of stuff going on, a lot of love being shown on social media, and I remember sitting next to my agent, just wondering, like, dang, I wonder if the world know what just happened to me. And he was like, yeah. One of the football players, Tyrann Matthew, just tweeted prayers up for Stedman, and I'm just like, oh man, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, I'm knowing like stuff is real right now. It's for real. But you know, all I could do was do what the doctors asked of me. Kayvon Webster and Geno Smith came down that next morning. They flew in and they both were able to come in and see me, and that made me feel real good. You know, those are guys that I've known just about all my life. To see them leave their situation, their teams. You know, Kayvon was with Denver at the time, and Geno was with the Jets. They both flew in to come be by my side, and at that point, I couldn't talk at all because they forced a tube down my throat, which jammed up all my vocal cords, and
Yeah.
so I'm writing everything down on the paper and stuff. You know, anything she would say like, Stephanie is my fiance, by the way. She would tell me, oh, you know, Stead, if you can hear me, put up a finger, put a thumb up, and I'm giving them two. I'm giving them two to let the people know. My mom, everybody, like I think I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So the
proceed.
11-year-old and the 6-year-old that were in the car,
Yeah,
they come to see you. They know that you're not dead.
right. They weren't touched. Their mom met us at Jackson North to retrieve them, and I remember even her, like she saw me being put into the ambulance truck, and she wasn't sure how I was doing, but I remember hearing her say, you know, yeah, my name's Stead, and I tried to get up, but I'm strapped all up, so that let her know, okay, I think he cool.
Okay.
But I remember seeing, I think my cousin them, the little kids, the next day as well, because me and Antoine were both at Aventura, which we knew we were going to be there for a while, you know, just recovering and going through the different things, taking medicine and just being under care from the physicians. And he actually got out of the hospital like a week before me, and by the time I got out, which was a month later, 2 days before Christmas, December 23rd, that was a Christmas gift for me. I'm not a big fan of hospitals because there's some crazy stuff that going in there, but I had to deal with it.
And you
And
made it out, and now here you are,
yeah, here I am
almost
looking
2
good.
years later.
Hmm.
So your first surgery, 2 gunshots to the head.
Right.
Made it out. Your surgery. So you're an NFL player who's been shot in the head. Social media is going crazy with all the prayers, and crazy in a good way, showing you love and support, and just hopeful that everything is going to be okay, prayerful that everything is going to be okay, and it is.
Yes.
So now, how are you feeling?
Now, I mean, it's more than 2 years later, a little after 2 years, but I actually feel great physically, spiritually. I'm in a good place. Emotionally, I'm in a good place. So, you know, what was once something that had me with so many questions about the world, it's like, stuff starting to make sense now. And I'm actually in a position to make a return after having a second surgery on my head, which just a little bit of details about that. The doctors went back into my head over the same line and over the area which was over my right eyebrow that was all the damage was done. They just made a titanium steel plate that was custom made only to fit my skull, and is actually over the damaged area where the skull was fractured. So now I'm really literally hard headed. Yeah,
So now you were thinking about making your return. So you said that when you were in the hospital and it was time for them. Now, guys, I spoke to Stedman maybe 6 months to 9 months after after you were shot initially.
right.
So we talked, and you were saying, I want to make a return, and the doctors were telling you give your skull a year to heal. So you went back.
First they was telling me, not to cut you off, but first they was telling me reports of what could possibly happen with me suffering a brain injury and being shot in the head, and they were saying, just kind of explaining to me how different parts of the brain helps control different parts of your body and how it moves, and the signals that the brain sends to the body. But it was like, oh, we don't know if he'll be able to speak good, like he may have speech problems, or we're not sure if he'll be able to walk good like he was like normally. And I remember hearing those reports, and I'm just like, no, I'm too young, and I mean, I know something critical just happened, but I'm in my mind like they must got a report for somebody else. Like that's they're not telling me that, but I just listened to it all, declined it. Like that's not gonna be the case with me, and that's just the mindset I had about my whole recovery. For me to survive being shot in the head twice, I started to feel like it's nothing that I can't do. Making it through something like that. So I just put it in my mind that I'm gonna keep a positive mind frame, and all the stuff that they're telling me that I probably won't do, I'm going against it. So, and with that being said, I had a lot of time to think. Like, okay, what if you can't play football no more, Steph? What you gonna do? So I'm like, well, I do have a pretty nice platform from playing football. A lot of people know who I am. So you just survived being shot twice, and I just pretty much said to myself, just keep going. I mean, it's gonna be a long road, but the way my body and stuff was responding to all the reports, which even doctors were starting to be blown away. Even before I was released from the hospital, I was able to put on a show, giving them a jog through there when they said I wasn't gonna be able to walk.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, just press forward, and I started to, with the help of my fiance and my brother, the idea sparked into my head that maybe I can start a workout clothing line, athleisure wear, called Positive Energy.
And that's where Positive Energy was born.
That's when it was born. And, you think about different brands. Nike, their slogan is just do it. Under Armour's slogan is I will. So I was like, okay, I need a slogan too. And mine is keep going. Positive energy, keep going. And I feel like, you are what your mind says you are. So if you putting out positive thoughts about yourself and stuff like that, then that's what you are. All the negative stuff. Everybody gonna have their thoughts and they says about what they think, but I don't think nobody should limit themselves and say, "Oh, I don't think I can do this." Adversity gonna knock on everybody's door, whether it's playing sports, your job, somebody may die in your family. That's all adversity, different forms. But what kind of makes you and shapes you as a person is how you respond, and that's just pretty much what I was on. Like I'm gonna just keep going and see what happens.
So you came back, talking, walking, running, catching. You have a stronger skull than you had before.
Right.
Literally a hard head.
Yeah, literally.
Almost like a helmet head.
Pretty much. Like I could probably be one of the crazy guys who you might see here and there on the sideline is just headbutting people with their own head, and people got on helmets.
Oh God!
But you think, oh, that's pretty crazy. But a lot of those guys who do stuff like that are grown to learn that a lot of those dudes be having plates in their head, and that's not what I'm aiming to do. But to have the report to know that the plate that's in my head is harder than human skull, that takes a big load off my shoulders of thinking like, well, what you think it'd be like if you get hit? I mean, it's still something that I think about, but I just
But
feel like,
neurologically, there have been no deficits.
oh no, I'm sharp. I'm sharp. I know. I mean, it's nothing that I can say I lost. Memory still very good. Balance, my equilibrium is back to normal, and I don't know. I mean, I really just honestly feel like I'm 100%, and that's why I'm really all in on making a return. I'm still pretty youthful in the league, 27 years old now, and I got a lot left in me. Got a lot left in me, and the whole.
Let me get my. So for those of you guys that are watching, that are just joining us for Set Real Talk Tuesday, I have Stedman Bailey here. He's told us about how he was shot twice in the head, still here, no deficits. He's back training fast. He is now one of the top plastic surgeons in the country, has worked on him and constructed a skull that's actually stronger than the rest of our skulls that have never been impaired or shattered in any way. And I'm sorry, let me turn this on. And now you're going to make your comeback. You're striving to make it back into the NFL.
Right. That's what I'm doing.
So we see you. If you guys are not following Stedman Bailey on Instagram, he's Steady Ambition, STEADDY Ambition on Instagram.
You spelled it wrong. Steady Ambition, STEDDY Ambition.
Okay, right. STEDDY. So not like STEADY.
Because it's not an A on Stedman, so not in the first part, so it's double D.
Okay, STEDDY. Ambition.
And that name goes along perfect with me because my ambition is just really off the charts. I feel like a lot of people if people would have gone through what I've gone through, I don't think a lot of people would still have a mindset to keep going, really, let alone be living to do this interview with you. So, I mean, I feel like I've overcome so many odds that what else can I do? And that's get back to the league.
So now, when you think about where you've been, were there ever times, and for those of you guys that are watching, we all will go through some sort of adversity in life on varying degrees. And if you haven't, just keep living.
Right.
But here you are, you've gone through this, you've overcome, so now you're able to look back. But were there ever times when you felt like, I don't know if I can make it, or I don't know if, this is a reality for me to try to strive to get back to the NFL?
I actually did. I actually did have some doubts, and that was only because certain doctors, will put out the negative reports, and it's like, I look at those people like you guys are definitely professionals at what you do, so it should be some trueness to what you're saying. But however, I'm a man of faith and I know God, so I'm like, I can just go ahead and dismiss those reports. Like, I'm only gonna claim victory, and if they not saying that, then you can keep it moving too. Just prove you wrong as well. But I actually had, after my first year of missing a season, and I went back to get evaluated before I had the second surgery, I saw a doctor down at UM, a neurosurgeon, neurologist, and after him, he got a chance to look at my CAT scan and saw that it's still certain parts of my brain that's somewhat exposed where it's not safe for me to get on the field. He looked at me and told me, son, you might as well find a new career, just do something else.
But this was prior to the last surgery?
Yes, this is before the last surgery. So I'm like, oh, man, I done came down here to UM. This guy should know what he's talking about, but I still didn't let that stop me. But it did put a little doubt in my head, like, oh, man, maybe this just not in my plans, for what God has for me. dismissed him too, though. Dismissed him and still just kept going after it. But I also, within that time, got a chance to go back to school for a little bit and finish working on my degree, which I'm like a class away from finishing. But
Congrats.
yeah, just little things that I could do with my time of not being on the field, which can serve as a win. Like, okay, you went back to school, started the clothing line, and I just really feel like me getting back on the field is a lot bigger than me because even now, a lot of people saying, or a lot of people asking me, Stead, you gonna make a return back to football? And even when I heard reports of people saying like, oh, you need to pick another career, I was telling people, yeah, I'll be back. That's just truly how I felt. So I was.
Something that you said when we talked is, and for those of you guys that have just joined us, we have Stedman Bailey, played with the St. Louis Rams. Now they are the Los Angeles Rams, wide receiver, who was shot in the head twice, living with a story to tell. Now he has a titanium skull. You had a plastic surgeon who was working with your neurologist who constructed, as you said, this custom titanium plate for your head, making your skull stronger than it ever was, who took some time and thought about what he could do to help you to make your, make the shatter better right above your eyebrow.
Right.
So this is something that he didn't have to do. But
yeah, he could have been a person that just like, yeah, it's just not gonna work. But I think he really saw, the determination I had to still continue to play. So I think not just with him thinking of my ambition to want to play again, my everyday life, and he was just kind of like, based off how I look, anything can happen. You can get into a car accident. I could trip and fall playing with my son and hit my head real hard, which they wasn't sure, or he wasn't sure what kind of damage it can cause, but something that could be probably detrimental to my life. So we trying to avoid any of that. And so, that's why he came up with the idea to go ahead himself and get with a few other doctors to construct the mold and have it where it fits my head. And I did not want to go through the process of having surgery on my head again. But I was like, well, if it's gonna help me out, especially for my everyday life, I need to get it done.
So where are you now? You're working out. You're in Los Angeles.
I'm in LA, and I've been here ever since the Rams moved back out here. So going on 2 years now, and I'm still, really a big fan of the Rams. All my guys that I were on the team with, majority of them are still here. So I'm pretty much a Ram at heart. They were the team to give me my first opportunity to play in the league, and I'm just still here. And those guys are having a really, really good season. So it's exciting to see. I wish I was out there, but I'll be back. And, I try to stick around here so they, for one, can see the work that I'm putting in.
So how is it? For those of us that are watching that don't know, when you get injured, did they release you, or are you like still a member of the team? Like, how does that work?
I actually, their first year here, that was my last year on my first contract. So that was year 4, and that was the year I had to actually sit out and miss everything. So of course the year goes by, and now I'm just off contract. Jeff Fisher, who you're familiar with, who was the coach at the time, showed me a lot of love. Him and the general manager first sparked the idea of going back to school to work back at my degree with the time off. They put that in my head. So I was like, okay, that's a good idea, something to capitalize on. But Jeff Fisher got fired that year within like the last couple of games. And so now they have Coach Sean McVay, new face, still the same general manager. Les Snead is still here, and the owner's still the same. So, anytime I see those guys, they show me a lot of love. But I mean, in the business, it's not like, okay, they could just carry me along. Hey, you're just not on the team right now. But
So what are you running? Are you being timed? What's the goal? Like, what's the plan? So you're working out really hard. You're back stronger. Are you faster? You feel like you're better than ever?
I would say my speed is really around the same of what it was before being injured, and um, I'm just out here working on every part of my game each and every day. I always felt like it's always room for improvement, no matter how good you are. So I try to train myself on anything possible that can make me better, catching the ball, agility drills, even doing track drills too, just to keep the speed there. And what I'm training for now is workouts. Workouts. A few teams want to see me in person because, okay, we already got past the part of, do we think it's safe enough for him to play again? Well, he got a plate in his head that's harder than anybody else on this field. I would still need to get cleared by specific team doctors. They got to always have their doctors look at you too, which if my doctor say I'll be okay, I have no doubt that, the team doctor say, okay, yeah, he's good. They just never seen it before, but I'm just training to be in the best shape of my life, which I feel like I am. And when it's time to go see teams for workouts, just blow them out the gym, blow them away with how fast I can run, how I look, and considering everything that's happened to me, I'm the epitome of overcoming the odds.
Absolutely. So what about the people that have shot you? Do you ever, I mean, have they come forward? Is there not any idea who did this?
I think it is like for the first year and a half, I was keeping up with the FBI. They would call me maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, just let me know what's going on with the case. And at this point, the last time I spoke to the FBI was 2, 3 months ago. At this point, but based off what they say, they believe they know who did it, and I think they just was saying they got to try to build up other cases or something against them to get them. Me personally, I probably could do all kind of stuff to try to seek revenge, but that's just not the type of person I am. So I just, hand all my worries to God and do what I can, control what I can, which is getting up every day and grinding.
So today, your 11-year-old and 6-year-old,
Cousins.
now your cousins.
Hmm.
So this was in 2015. They're now 13 and 8. How are they?
They great. They great. They actually at the time of the shooting was living in Miami too, in Miami Gardens area, and after that, that pretty much shook up a lot of things with how me and my family feel about Miami. It's an area that's not the best. Well, certain areas, and the areas that we were in just was like, we need to get out of here. So Antoine and his family, along with the 2 kids, now live in Georgia.
Okay.
And they both doing good. AJ plays middle school basketball and football at the recreational parks, and his little sister is a dancer. She wants to be a dancer when she grow up, I guess. I don't know. But
So we think about, the effects that this,
well,
gun violence can have on even bystanders. People.
it was bad at first. They both had to go to counseling for several weeks, just to try to help them get over it, because what they suffer from is post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD.
Hmm.
And I remember before they moved to Atlanta, like it'll be times I go over to Antoine's house. We always get together and play cards. That's like what we do in the family. Um, I remember being at their house at nighttime, and AJ come. He's instructed to always take the garbage out. He come back in the house flying, and he's just so tired. So what's wrong with you, bro? You all right? He was like, oh, I saw a car, and it made him, just took him back to that night. So he just was running. So that messed with me for a while. Like, dang, two innocent kids. They experienced something very devastating, but it's really made all of us stronger. I'm sure
Mhm.
that's probably one of the worst things that they'll probably see in their lifetime growing up. It's probably the worst thing I could go through with harm to myself and Twan too. But they both are doing real well, and I'm sure they look at myself and their dad as true Superman, just to still be out here. And even him, I mean, he looks normal. He has a few difficulties like with nerve damage within his body, where sometimes he has aches. But if I ain't tell you I was shot or him too, you probably wouldn't know. You can't just look at us and tell.
You guys are really, truly walking miracles.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I'm honored that you were willing to sit down, set Real Talk Tuesday, get real with us, tell us what you've been through, what you're planning on doing. We'll definitely be standing, cheering for you. Those
Yeah.
of you guys that haven't followed Stedman Bailey yet on Instagram, it's Steady Ambition, STEDDY,
Yes.
Ambition. And then on Twitter, I am SB3.
Yeah. You can tell the people that, well, not you can, since we live. Um, all the people, if you decide to follow the Instagram, Twitter, um, with all the working out that I'm doing now, I like to upload just to show the people that, I'm not just talking about coming back, like it's real action behind it. And once again, I was shot twice in the head. So for me to be able to do what I'm able to do, it can't be nobody but God. That's just, steering me and taking me down this path on my way back.
Yes. Guys, if you haven't tagged a friend, tag them. We have Stedman Bailey here, shot twice in the head, making his way back, wanting to play in the NFL again. Seasons, a lot of teams aren't going to the playoffs. Seasons are over. It's your time now to show them what you've got. So we're going to be
Yeah.
cheering for you, following you.
I might end up on some of y'all favorite team. I don't know yet. I'm gonna be on somebody's team.
Well, we will definitely be behind you no matter where you go. Guys, follow Stedman, get some of his positive energy. He's wearing his positive energy brand.
Yes. Once again, y'all, it's a little something, but it's nice little shirt. Got the arms out.
Yeah, so not just for men. He also has some great pieces for women.
And I got the kids coming soon because I know the kids need some of this. They need
Yes,
role models, and that's what I want to be. That's what I am.
awesome. So also, if you're following Set Media on Instagram, join us in our giveaway. Christmas, 12 days of Christmas giveaway. We're giving away some goodies from Positive Energy. So you guys can take part in that. But
Right.
I just have to tell you, Stedman, we were praying for you and just want you to pull through. And now here you are, watching you, going hard. We're cheering for you. So thank you for joining us, guys. Comment, follow him. If you have any questions, we're here. We're answering. Stedman,
Yes.
you've been supporting sports and entertainment today for a minute now.
Absolutely right. You family, so it ain't gonna stop right here neither.
Well, thank you, guys. I'm Danisha Roll, and I'm set.
And I'm Stedman Bailey, and I am set. Have a good day, guys.
Guys, you guys have an awesome evening. We'll see you same place, same time next Tuesday for Set Real Talk Tuesday. Thank you, Stedman.
No problem.